Phil and Lil are definitely two of my favourite Rugrats characters. I think that was the case when I was a child as well. So any episode that focuses on them is almost guaranteed to be a winner. And thankfully, Twins Peak is a pretty great episode. And I just got the Twin Peaks parody of that title. This is the second segment of the first episode of the third season of Rugrats, and it starts off with Lil being mistaken for Phil by Betty. And then they go over to Tommy's house and Tommy greets them with, "Hey guys," and they say, "Why don't you say, hey Phil, hey Lil?" And I think that's fair enough. I imagine twins would get to a point where they kind of hate being mistaken for each other and where they hate being lumped together as the twins. So they decide that in order to be different, they're going to behave like other people. And there's this great bit where they think, or where Tommy thinks they're both talking about him, which I thought was adorable. But Lil decides to be like Angelica, and Phil decides to be like Chucky. And this isn't just their behavior, but their appearance. Their hair is amazing. Phil's hair is all ruffled up, and Lil has two bunches, which is just so cute. And I thought it was such a clever decision. It's such a subtle difference, but because it's so different, it works so well, and I really enjoyed it. And of course, the big difference is their behaviors. Lil has a very demanding behavior and acts like Angelica and scowls like Angelica, which is fun to watch, but in terms of the animation, it's so fascinating to see how they animate the characters in different ways. And of course, Phil is very scared, more scared than Chucky would be, which Chucky actually identifies as well. And Lil decides that they go on a top secret mission, and I won't say exactly what happens, but it involves their quackulator, or the parents' quackulator, which is a calculator, which is one of the cutest things, and calculators will forever forward be known as quackulators. But I think the narrative progressed really well, and ultimately it showed that actually it's okay to be like your twin because you have a very special bond, and that's something that nobody can ever take away. That's generalizing, of course. Some twins do not get along at all, but we know Phil and Lil love each other very much. I thought it was absolutely adorable, a really nice narrative, and visually really awesome. I just thought Phil and Lil looked so great with their different hair. As I said, it seems like such a small difference, but because we're so used to seeing them with a different appearance, it makes all of the difference. And their facial expressions are different, their mannerisms, their intonations. I just loved it all. I thought it was very effective, and being a big fan of Phil and Lil, I found it to be tremendous fun. I don't remember it from my childhood, but that doesn't bother me at all because I enjoyed it watching it now for what I'm considering to be the first time. Twins Peak is pretty great.